Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in the world. Thanks for watching my channel. And it's still cold in Cape Town. It's the Jewish New Year tomorrow night, Rosh Hashanah. And here's a message to consider from Kabbalah and other understanding. So in Hebrew, Yud Hei Vav Hei, which is called the Tetragrammaton, is one of God's names. We pronounce it Adonai, Yud Yud. And the Kabbalah looks at things forwards and backwards. And so Hei Vav Hei Yud is Yud Hei Vav Hei backwards, and Hei Vav Hei Yud is judgment. And God is Yud Hei Vav Hei, which is mercy. And this is the period of the year where we're being judged, and we're looking for mercy, so we can have another year on planet Earth, amongst all this beauty that we have, even amongst all of the troubles and stresses that we find ourselves in this world. And then one of the things that I looked at several years ago was live and evil. Evil is live backwards. And if we take the Zohar of saying Yud Hei Vav Hei and Hei Vav Hei Yud, then, evil is judgment and live is mercy. And if you look at your friends and your relations and the people around you, then maybe you can see those people that are judging others and compared to those of us that are being merciful to others. And of course, you can be perceived as judging even when you're being merciful, and vice versa. So there could be a fine line in certain environments and circumstances, but I think it's important to look at these kinds of words. There's another word, which is dog, which is God backwards. And so this is not an evil stroke good thing. It's a lead-in. It's a portal. It's a way of getting somewhere. So it's not that evil is bad. It's darkness is not bad. We need darkness so we can have light. One of the things is that if you don't like the status quo, you have to invent something new. That could be seen as evil, because that is invention. And then that leads to goodness, hopefully, unless you're plundering the planet or hurting people. So, there's so many of these kinds of amazing coincidences. Look at guns. The opposite way of guns is snug. So if you never have to use your guns, you can hug each other and be snug with each other. So I just want to look back at mercy and judgment. And I want you to ask yourselves, are you judging others? Are you being merciful to them? And Buddhism has got this wonderful thing about charity, not just financial charity, but a more important charity in many ways, which is giving the other person the benefit of the doubt. And so someone hurts you, you check in with them and you say, you hurt me. And then they say, I didn't mean to hurt you. Otherwise, what happens is they hurt you, and then for 30 years, there's pain and anguish and families fighting each other and so on. Instead of saying, like my wife and I do, we've been married for 25 years. We've known each other for a couple of years longer than that. And, we know that if I hurt her, she checks in and says, David, you hurt me. Or if the other way around, if she hurts me, I say, you hurt me. And immediately, in 1 minute, we solve the problem, and we're kind and compassionate. And if we judge the person by mistake, then we can be merciful immediately. So I think it's important at this time, when we're asking God to inscribe us in the book of life, that we consider judgment and mercy, and we consider the other words in our lives, and we consider the thing that I pray for every night as part of my prayers. I pray that people will listen to each other. And I pray that people will deeply listen to each other, and not just on a superficial level. I pray that people will be able to be themselves in the new year. I pray that people will be able to say what they feel in the new year without intentionally hurting someone. And if they hurt someone say to them, be an adult, not a child, and not a parent-child, but an adult relationship where you say, you hurt me, you said something, and then the person can say, what did I say? And immediately in a minute or two, or maybe 5 or 10, you can resolve the issue, as opposed to going to war with each other. So I wish you a Shana Tova, which is a year good in Hebrew, because the words are the other way around. And then that we've just had Elul, which is Ani Dorodi Vododili, it's an acronym, a time of introspection about the old year, a time of asking for forgiveness. Now we have the 10 days of penitence, but we're going to have Rosh Hashanah and then the 10 days of penitence, where we atone for our sins. And then we're going to have the day of Yom Kippur, which is a day where we are close to God. We don't eat, we don't drink, we don't have marital relations, or we don't have sex. And we stay in a pristine state with white clothes, and we touch God. And of course, at the end of the daily prayers, the 3 daily prayers in the Amidah, we can touch God, and there are other ways to touch God. Many, many ways. Feel free to ask me. I'm here. I'm happy to help in any way I can. And thank you for being on my channel. And please like and subscribe and comment. And if you're having a Jewish New Year, I wish you a Happy New Year. And if you're anybody else not celebrating at this particular time this year, then please look at mercy and judgment and consider how you might be behaving in that regard. Thank you.